So while that is running, let's see, you run dbt show. What did it do? So it did what I expected it to do. So from you went to the staging models. Why did you go to the staging model? Why didn't you use the math model? Interesting. So I made a simple slide to just walk through this for us before going to the demo. So first of all, let's talk about the Model Context Protocol (MCPs). What are MCPs? For talk about dbt MCPs. Now, MCPs is an open source standard for connecting AI applications to external systems. So you have AI applications, and you want to connect these AI applications to external systems. This is really what an MCP is or does. So this is a MCP standardized protocol in here, and these are your, let's say, your Claude chat interface or your IDE, VS Code, or whatever is on other applications, right? So with these, you can interact with your external systems like your database systems, development tools like Git, productivity tools like Slack, Google Maps, or whatever. So you have some created in here, or AI applications or models you've built in here. You want to have that interface on your Slack, or you want to be able to interact, use your AI to query your databases. Essentially, what helps to do that is this MCP model context protocol. So it acts like an intermediary to connect your AI applications to external systems that are not part of that AI application. Now, dbt model context protocols, or dbt MCP server, provides a standardized framework that enables users to seamlessly integrate AI applications, like I said, with dbt managed data assets, regardless of the underlying data platforms. Right. So regardless of data platform you're using, dbt MCP server would help you use your AI applications to interact with dbt managed data assets, right? And so this ensures consistent govern access to models, metrics, lineage, freshness across various AI tools. So with your AI tool, you can interact with your dbt assets, your dbt models, your metrics, your semantic layer, your lineages, and stuff like that, right? And dbt server provides access to dbt CLI, API, discovery API, semantic layer, and also provides access to private APIs, also text to SQL and SQL execution. What this means is that you can, using dbt MCP server, you can say what is the revenue. You can write the text which says what is the revenue for October 2025, and dbt MCP server base would interact with your data model, change that to SQL based on the models in your dbt project, and context is provided using documentation or semantic layer, and then also execute that SQL as well. Now, dbt server can be accessed through two ways: local MCP and remote MCP. Local MCP, local MCP provides experience for development workflow. Essentially, local is for your system, right? So when you build your, or when you connect your MCP, your dbt MCP, to your dbt project on your local system, that's local, right? And local runs on your machine, and it requires installing the UVX, and this UVX installs dbt MCP locally into your system. Now, this option provides access to all dbt CLI commands. You can do dbt run, dbt build, dbt test from your AI application. Say, for example, a Claude code, right? This supports dbt core, supports fusion, supports dbt CLI if you're working on the cloud platform. Also, you have ability to work on local dbt projects without requiring a dbt platform account. And so when I say dbt platform account, I'm referring to dbt cloud accounts. And you can also integrate with dbt platforms API for metadata discovery and for semantic layer access, right? Remember, we said one of the benefits here for MCP server is CLI API. This is metadata API, discovery API as well. So remote MCP server offers data consumption use cases without local setup. So with remote MCP server, you can connect to your dbt cloud platform via HTTP and does not require any local installation, right? But for the demo for today, we'll be doing local MCP, right? And this is useful when you either don't want to install or you're restricted from installing a local system. And then your use case is primarily consumption based, which means that you want to get querying metrics, you want to explore metadata, you want to view lineage, you want to understand, you know, those when you're on DBT Cloud, when you're able to see your timeline, how your queries are moving, consumption, that sort of a thing. You want to get that kind of information, you can actually use your remote MCP server for that. Now, what's available on remote and local? All right. So on local, you have your DBT CLI, like your DBT run. You can do DBT run, DBT test, DBT build. You have access to semantic layer on both. You have access to text to SQL on both. But for DBT CLI, you don't have it on remote. You have metadata discovery on both. You only have administrative API on local. You don't have it on remote. You have code gen tools available on local and not remote, and you also have fusion tools on both. dbt fusion, I think I should start a video on dbt fusions. I've been installing on that for a while. I will get to that soon. All right, so let's talk about integrations. MCP servers right now, dbt MCP server can be integrated with any MCP clients that supports token authentications and two use capabilities like Claude, Cursor, or VS Code. Now on this video, I'm going to show us implementation with Claude, Claude Desktop. All right. Oh, before I go there, let me just show you this. So let's imagine our MCP clients, Claude, Cursor, and any other MCP client or VS Code or whatever. What are the tools available within dbt MCP server? So when we say dbt CLI, I'm going to just break down all these tools. So these are tools available within the dbt MCP server. There's the dbt skills now. A lot of things to talk about in the AI world, right? Especially AI, and dbt. There's dbt skills, there's dbt tools. So these tools are available within the dbt MCP server, right? And what tools are available? So within dbt CLI local executable, we have like build, docs, dbt build, docs, pass, test, show, run, list, compile. So dbt, your dbt MCP server from your MCP clients can run these commands on your local, right? Discovery, we said discovery metadata API is available on both. So what does that do? What do you get there? You can get your math models, you can get your model details, you can get your model children, you can get all models, you can list all model parents, you can get all model health, right? Semantic layer, you can list metrics, you can get entities, you can get metrics compiled to SQL, you can get dimensions, you can query metrics. Now you have all these metrics and dimensions when you build a semantic layer. And then we have SQL tools. So here you can query text to SQL and also execute SQL. So your clients, your MCP clients can actually query your data platform using dbt MCP server. Okay, and then admin API tools. We said admin API tool is only available in local. What does that do? You can list jobs, you can get job run details, you can get job run artifacts, get job details, cancel job runs, trigger job run, retry job run, list job runs, list job run artifacts. So based on the use case what you're trying to do, these are some of the tools and things you can access from your MCP clients using dbt MCP server as the middleman between your dbt project and your MCP clients. All right, so let's see what this looks like right now. So before I come to Claude, and let me just show you this, how to set this up. Okay, so we are using Claude Code for this, right? Claude Desktop, not Claude Code, right? Claude Desktop. You can also use Claude Code as well. Claude Code integrated into your what's it called, into your terminal. I have Claude Code installed on my terminal as well, so I could try that. So to configure Claude Desktop to use MCP server, you go to the latest dbt MCP release and download this. This is for yes, this is what we want for CLI only. Okay, you don't necessarily need to install all these things. Let me see what's here. I didn't install it using this method, So I'm curious to see what's here. Interesting. The release for dbt MCP. So essentially, what you need to do is to install UVX. Let me find that. So you install UVX on your local. Yes, this is what we're looking for. So you just install UV on your local, and you're able to run dbt MCP. That's all. That's all you need. But there's just one more setup, and that setup is adding this guy. I'm going to show you where it's going to be within your adding this guy. This we are doing CLI. Adding this guy within your in a folder within Claude, and I'm going to show you that so Claude can access your dbt project. So okay, this is CLI only, no data platform. This is for CLI and cloud platform. So you put in your dbt project directory on your local, your dbt path on your local. You've already installed UV, and you are good to go. So let's do this. So essentially, you're just installing UV first, and so let me go to Claude Code. If you Claude Desktop rather, if you come to Claude, you click on connector. You are going to see what connectors you have in here, right? And I have DBT turned on, DBT MCP server turned on. Right, so let's go to these settings. Okay, developer. All right, so this is it. So let's edit it. This is the file. So within your Claude setup, you find this file, Claude desktop config.json, and you edit this file within your VS Code or whatever terminal you use. So essentially, once you've installed UVX first, UVX is already on your system, and DBT would be able to find where UVX is installed, and it comes with dbt MCP server. And then you also put in the environment variable, which is where your dbt project is on your system, and then the path to which dbt is installed on your system. So I have this dbt project. We use this project for our dbt bootcamp, as you can tell from the name of the project. It's connected to my training data warehouse. Right. And so from preferences here, this can be, you can use co-work schedule tags for this. Sidebar mode, you can use chat mode, and co-work web search enabled. I've never used co-work schedule tags or co-work web search enabled feature. But then if we go in here, so essentially after you installed UVX, you put in this configuration, this config file within Claude desktop config, you're good to go. And if we come back here, I can just ask it which dbt project is it turned on? Okay, it's turned on. Which dbt project can you see in my dbt MCP server? While it's running, I want to just confirm that my stuff is able to run before I run it here. Okay, so using a tool. So what tool did you use? Query dbt project list, loaded 11 tools, dbt list, dbt docs. Right, from dbt list, it was able to see the project and all the resources within the project. So you're connected to dbt. Your project connect the project connected to your dbt server is ydbt bootcamp. Yeah, and datasets gives me the staging models, internet model, and the math model. Really cool stuff. So let's play around. So we said that we have several tools in here. So let's say get math models. Let's do the math get math models. Um, list the math models. Doo-doo, doo-doo, doo-doo. This is the match models. Okay, so let's do this is I'm just showing you around this each of these tools and how they work, but you can actually do much more from text to SQL. Let's say compile compile the dbt project or compile the customers. Let me go through the let me go through this project and see if I can and find a question to ask. Okay, give me the sum of no. Let's the MCP do it for me. What do I want? What do I want? What do I want? Hmm. I don't know the time frame, the available time frame on this data. So I just try to give me the total payment value by product name, by product category name. Let me see. DBT show dim product. Let me see what dim product looks like. Aha. I don't have my analytics database set up. So same error. Let me see if running everything could resolve that. It looks like yeah, it is set to analytics. So let me change it to transformation for now. Yeah, I'll just change to transformation for now, just for these demo purposes. And because it looks like that database does not exist in my data warehouse. Yeah. Okay. So now I can access it. So compile the customers again. Oh my god, there's an error where in fact others. Oh, there's no comma here. Was that me? Yeah, so interesting. Okay, let me not go there. State aware orchestration. I wouldn't have to run everything, I just run what failed. But I'll come back to that some other time. Why are you still failing? What I enriched customer ID? All right, so we have this run successful. So yeah, the compile to run but didn't return the compiled SQL output directly. Let me read the source file. So let's do this again. Okay, I was going to see the product category to see what's there, so I can just give our MCP server a text to SQL question. Okay, we can do products. Where's the products? Product name length. Let's do product name length. Okay. It's running but not return the compiled SQL output. It seems dbt server compile model services. Okay, to build, run this. Okay, give me total payment value by product name length. I'm not giving it any context on where to find those. Let's see if we can handle this without much information. So it's using DBT show because I didn't ask for oh no, products category name English. So you can see it did that correctly. We're going to check the query. Well, let me ask it to give me my product category name value instead. Give me the total payment value by. So while that is running, let's see. It ran dbt show. What did it do? So it did what I expected it to do. So from you went to the staging models. Why? Why did you go to the staging model? Why didn't you use the math model? Interesting. Let's see. It's using the staging model. Let me ask it. Why are you not using the math models? Even though that's correct, right? Well, I did wanted to use the math model. So you see, it said, let me redo the query using fact orders and dim discounts. Okay, okay, okay. The product category name English. Okay, so it's putting his reasoning right, and it's using dbt show because we just asked it for to show us the values, not like run it against data warehouse or anything of sort. So that's why we're having this way. So while this is running, okay, okay, for now I can either query using this. Okay, use option one. While this is running, so I have Claude code installed on my terminal, my VS code. So let us see what I can ask it right now. Just in case you wanted to use Claude code instead of Claude desktop. Let me see, let me see, let me see. Mm, list all models. Let me just ask you to list all models, right? I think that is simple. List all models in this dbt project and show lineage. You know, Claude Code has this does these things, right? So while that is running, you can see it gives us this total value. So you can see text to SQL at work. What is the query that I ran? Let us see. As expected, total payment value, some total payment value grew by product category name. Quite simple. But then you can actually have complex queries being run by dbt MCP server as long as your documentation is right and your if you're using semantic layer, your context is rich, you would get very good answers. Okay, so let's see what we have here from Claude Code. So sweet stuff, sweet stuff. You can build a documentation for this. You can build you want to hand over a dbt project and you want to start a dbt project for the first time you've not worked with, you can use dbt MCP server to understand that project and how it works. You can see the staging source tables. He gave me that intermediate tables. It depends on this for the lineage. You can see the math table. You can see the dag lineage as well. So all these customers to stage customers down to factor there. So really powerful stuff. So dbt server is powerful. You can do lots of things. This is a very short video just to walk you through this, and I hope you got a thing or two out of this. Stay tuned. I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.